This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
Stan Lane's got to keep the pace up here. Went for a modified neck breaker. I don't think he got all of it.
Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. I'm Paul Griffin, and this week on the pod, NXT prepares to go NXTreme. Orange Cassidy challenges Moxley for the sake of the company, and the bloodline is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Plus, this weekend, Crown Jewel. So we'll talk about that since probably a lot of folks don't really want to watch it. So before we get into that, joining me on the show is B-Rob.
Pew, 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 pew. I'm here.
And also here, the Zoo Man himself, Pro Wrestling Noah.
Goddamn Zoolander.
I got some birds to go to. Lay off. Before we started the recording, I said I'm gonna go to the zoo this weekend. Of which I've gone. It's been said on this podcast. I've been to the zoo. I fed that giraffe that one time. There's new stuff at the zoo. They don't just have the same stuff all the time. There's new stuff.
Birds aren't even real.
Zoo. They got new birds. I'm gonna go see.
They're not real.
Birds they got there. What do you mean they're not real? They're right there.
Birds aren't
They're
real.
Around. Oh, that thing. Yeah. Well.
Well, no, that was just
birds, or is
pigeons.
it just
That's just pigeons.
There's so many of them. They're probably controlling us through our vaccines.
Are the eagles real? See the eagle right there at the zoo.
No, because we're running out of them because they're getting hit by windmills, from what I understand.
Oh, that's right.
The good
That's
news
their
is,
own fault.
if everybody plays their cards correctly after next Tuesday, they'll get rid of all the vaccines. That way, the pigeons can't control you anymore. We've all voted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I voted the day after you did.
Great, good. Everybody listening, you have homework. Go vote
For the
carefully.
love of God.
Vote for the right person. Don't fuck this up. One of them's gonna let Elon tank the fucking economy. What an idiot! Elon sucks. What are we talking about?
I don't understand. Why is
You can't even do Twitter right.
Oh my God. It's just the Wild West over there now. Twitter. Just
I keep
whatever.
trying to get into blue sky.
Was it not before?
Struggling. It was
Even more
better.
so now. Yeah, it was like at least like a somewhat buttoned up professional website run by people who mostly knew what they were doing, and now it's just like whatever. You can post like a whole movie on there and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, yeah, go vote. If you're listening to this and you haven't voted yet, shame on you. Or fine, actually, you can vote on election day too.
Text
But early
5 friends or whatever, reminding them to vote.
Early voting is cool.
Yeah. It's still packed, but at least you're done early.
Oh, mine
I don't know.
wasn't.
I
but
just-
also
I
went
just
like
walked in.
first thing Monday morning.
I don't know. I woke up at I think they opened up at 8, and I was there like 8:05, and the parking lot was full. People were parking on the side of the road and walking to the location. It was around the building. And I was just like, okay, at least people are here voting. So that's
That sounds
good.
like a good thing.
I don't know if this is just like a metropolitan privilege or something, but yeah, I went in. It was after work. It was like 5 something in the afternoon, and I just walked in, pretty much just like handed them my identification right when I got in there, and went and voted. Got out of there.
You said one Ted Cruz, please.
Fucking cool. That's the
speaking-
election that matters in this state.
They all
Most-
matter.
for the most. They all matter, but my faith that Texas somehow magically flips blue is not high, but there's a chance for the Senate. I
don't
pray.
I don't buy it. We'll believe it when I see it. Speaking of things I'll believe when I see, something about WWE ID.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, that works. It rhymed.
That rhymed.
It was
That was
like
a
poetry.
transition.
So this week, big news story came out that WWE has announced WWE ID, which is I guess it's short for independent development. So they're basically deeming certain wrestling schools their
pipeline.
Yeah, they're pipeline schools. And then if you're wrestling in those schools, then you can be like put on a special list of the WWE radar, which in theory provides you a pathway to WWE. Lots of cynical takes on this on Twitter. You know who I haven't seen complaining? You know who I haven't seen complaining about this? Any of the wrestling talent. It is desperately trying to get into a big company and got into indie wrestling so they could become TV wrestlers. I haven't seen one of them bitch about it at all.
Yeah,
but fans sure have a lot of takes.
What are people complaining about?
I've seen some people say, even in the comments of this, is that WWE is trying to funnel talent away from AEW and New Japan. Yeah. So
they've done that forever.
They should try to do that to each other. That's called business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
this is not real. I mean, it's news because WWE is doing it, but AEW is doing this right now with the Nightmare Factory. Freaking Goldust has got a goddamn
Nightmare Factory.
Yeah. And Goldust got a goddamn school that they doing shit with, and QT Marshall training people with somebody. And I mean, they are already doing this, but it's only news because WWE is doing it. Because, I mean, they have more money to put behind it, of course.
My genuine hope with this is that not only does this put more people on their radar who might have been overlooked, there's plenty of people at Booker T's school that probably should have found their way there by now.
Yeah, Joe Hendry.
That's just this weekend. But a lot of people just aren't getting it. I don't know why that is. Maybe this WWE ID thing provides some expertise of what they're looking for that people can work toward. Maybe they will do classes where they tell people how to do social media without getting canceled before you get called. Little things like that could benefit people. But they have named a couple wrestling schools that are affiliated, and wouldn't you believe it, they're all affiliated with people in the company. So Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, Nightmare Factory, Black and Brave, and Knock X Pro Wrestling Academy, which is a Rikishi school.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. All the Fatus.
Yeah, not that they are the pipeline.
We might be going to that Reality of Wrestling soon.
I hope
so. It's just like Paul said, it's the people that are in the pockets of the company or whatever, and it's like it's beneficial for them because it gets their schools and their brands recognition. You know, it gets more memberships and sign-ups and everything with the hopes of getting funneled into the bigger machine and whatnot. So, I mean, I have no disagreement of this. I mean, everybody got to make their money somehow and whatnot. And, you know, Booker T does have some good talent down there. I mean, Will Allday is a veteran. By proxy.
Forever.
Yeah, I know. By proxy, Mysterious Q now.
He's on the shelf, isn't he? He got injured and
he should be
back.
Soon.
Oh, he's back.
He's back now.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he re-debuted in New Texas Pro, which is kind of like his main thing, but he does still do things with ROW. But
I worry about things like Mysterious Q because he's my age. Like, do they want 35-year-olds, 36-year-olds?
Yeah.
I mean,
because
good,
I mean, if you're in shape and still can go, yeah. Because I mean, by then you should be well versed in the art of professional wrestling. Usually, I mean, there's an anomaly here and there, especially if you're within the right circles or whatnot. You know, you get into one of these pipelines, your trajectory could be shortened and whatnot, because usually the average is about 10 years before you gain traction or even really get noticed. So you can point to just about every professional wrestler that's kind of big now or getting big. They've got at least 10 years under their belt, unless they came from one of these special circumstances and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess it remains to be seen like what this will actually do. My hunch is maybe nothing.
Or maybe like
people,
something that just isn't really perceivable by general audience, even.
Yeah. I've seen some people be like, oh, look, another raid of the indies. I'm sorry. That's what the fucking indies are for. Do you think these guys want to work at a gym for the rest of their life?
This is what it's always been. It's just got a face to it now.
Well, my precious warehouse wrestlers are going to go away and get popular. Yeah.
That's what they want.
They're trying to do.
Yeah. I saw Roxy wrestle in a metal box, and then a few months later, she's on NXT.
I got the call commentary for her last match on the Indies, more or less.
I was there for that too.
That poor girl, she probably doesn't even want to be there. With all of her friends and great talent. Yeah. Hey, speaking of NXT, let's talk about some NXT because next week the Sandman might show up, which means we have to talk about it.
Hopefully.
He's already hinted at it on Twitter. So NXT this week, they set up a bunch of stuff for next week's NXT 2300 ECW tribute show of sorts, because it's
NXTCW.
Yeah. It's on Wednesday. I think it's up against Dynamite, so of course they're trying to stack the show. And one thing they added was a 5-on-5 women's tag with all of the best women in the company and one other one, because she's not in the company yet. But it looks pretty dope.
It does.
This segment they did on NXT this week was a hoot.
There's like take all the new things and put them on this side against all the older established things on this side.
Yeah, so it's what is it? It's Stephanie Vicaire, Julia, Kalani,
Jordan Grace.
Yeah, Jordan Grace being the surprise, and Zarya on one side, and then Cora and Roxanne and
the toxic people,
the Toxic Attraction version 2 or whatever.
Timo.
Yeah, the ones that I complain about every week because they don't have matching gear or any fucking rhyme or reason for their group. They still don't, by the way. I don't.
They might add the show. They might add this show.
Maybe they'll figure it out. They really just feel like a universe mode put a team together. Like you just simulated 2 years and all of a sudden these 3 girls are a team.
I have a trio or like a stable group in my universe mode with Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, that's exactly what this feels like. And they all walk to the ring together with generic motions. No lighting. So that's next week. That sounds like fun.
So
Rob Van Dam is supposed to be doing something with Javon Evans. Is it Evans?
Yeah, Javon Evans.
I always forget his last
Wesley.
name. Javon and Wesley. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's a triple threat.
Yeah, I think so. I believe it's a triple threat. He just like, fuck it. I'm getting in this.
What were you saying, Noah?
Oh, sorry. The women's tag match. This Zarya lady, is that the lady during Halloween
Delta.
Havoc? The like the spooky like lady that kept showing up after matches?
Yeah.
Is that lady?
Yeah, the one that they did all the vignettes for, where she's walking down the open road, beating up people.
She had like the pre-rendered cutscene where she was like punching people, and then she showed up in the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
Is she a pre-established thing? Do we know about her? Is she cool? I have not watched a lot of NXT recently, so I don't.
So
know
like,
about her.
well, yeah, I mean, she's fresh off the indie. She got sucked up at the same time that Stephanie Vicaire and Julia did. So they were tearing it up on the indies, doing hot shit, and they was just like, all right, we want all 3 of these motherfuckers. If I can be comparable, I mean, they're not the same, but, you know, just for a frame of reference, she is Jordan Grace-esque, you know, as far as speed, strength, and things of that nature and whatnot. So, you know, if Jordan Grace never came over here, she would be that role there. But, you know, she's
teaming together.
Big, strong.
I was about to say they're on the same team. That sounds
crazy.
Yeah, they hurled Roxanne out of the ring together this week. It was a hoot.
Oh wow!
I think that was Roxanne.
She does the F5 in reverse.
What?
So like Brock Lesnar, you know, fireman's carry. He goes from the right shoulder to the left shoulder. She goes from the left shoulder to the right shoulder.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like she like gets on their shoulders and then she spins around. And
Oh no! Oh,
like,
no.
how do you do that?
She's
cool.
from Australia, so there it is.
They flush the toilet differently and also do their F5s differently.
No, I spin, not you.
Yeah. They don't even mean to do that. That's just how gravity works.
Australia, the place that gravity forgot.
That's right.
Them, Australia and freaking Pac. Gravity forgot those places.
You know what else she does? A spear.
Spear.
We need another one of
Spear.
those. More spears, please.
I mean, it's the easiest. Look, dog. Spears and headbutts need to like take a back seat for a while, especially whatever happened to Rhea Ripley's face.
Yeah. They did something on this show where Rhea showed up and kind of like shared a room with all these 5 chicks who were awesome, and they're all like, "We want to fight you someday," and she seems into that. And then before the main event, Rhea's like head is beaten in and she's covered in blood outside of this car, and Liv and Raquel are walking away. And the story is that Rhea injured her orbital bone doing a spot on Raw this week, so they had to write her off briefly,
So sad.
or at least write her out of action.
She keeps getting fucked up doing segments with Liv.
Yeah, she's not getting fucked up wrestling. She's getting fucked up just being around. I would, if it were me, I would end this program quickly.
So
So
she wouldn't get fucked up anymore.
Yeah, and maybe stop doing that headbutt.
Yeah, I mean that head. Dog, we watched whatever the latest freaking New Japan tournament was. I think it was the Best of Super Juniors or whatever the fuck it was. No, it was the G1. The G1. Goddamn, everybody, every fucking match was headbutting the shit out of each other, and I just like, come on, man, let's not do that.
I mean, at least have some, quality control of the product, so not everybody's doing it.
Yeah, whatever, man. Don't hurt
Yep.
your head.
Speaking of things that hurt my head, Bubba Ray Dudley is teaming up with Trick Williams to take on Ethan Page and Ridge Holland.
Boo.
On NXT this week, Bubba Ray Dudley got into a hissy fit with Ridge Holland, talking about how Ridge Holland disrespected his podcast host partner, Dave LaGreca, as if anyone gives a fuck.
I don't
And
know what that is.
he's a dweeb. They were on the pre-show for NXT, and somehow this is justifying Bubba Ray Dudley fighting Ridge Holland, who kept calling him Bully Ray for some reason. Like he couldn't stop. He kept calling him Bully Ray. And now Bubba and Trick are teaming up against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. If this were me, I would have found something else for Trick to do and just got Devon to work the match.
Yeah, this is really weird booking. There's just like a bunch of random
So
guys.
this is what I don't understand, and Paul, you might have better memory on all this stuff. Devon, went away to I think he has a school, or they have a school, and then he has twin sons that are professional wrestling, so he's been doing a lot of that. I think he's done some booking here and there and whatnot, so he hadn't been in ring active like Bully Ray or Bubba Ray or whatever the fuck you want to call him. But every time he has come back without Devon, he has been attached to a black professional wrestler. That one time he came back in the Rumble, they didn't have Devon, so put him with R-Truth. The other time he came back, I forgot who it was, but it was another black guy, not Devon. And now here he is with Trick, not Devon.
I mean, WWE also doesn't trust him as a solo act, so I get why they would put him with somebody. But yeah, I think they want the visual.
Yeah. Vanilla and chocolate. You want that white guy pushing that black guy in the chest saying, get some tables.
Yeah, but
Black
he
and white
shouldn't do
cookie
that.
wrestling.
I don't want Trick Williams getting pushed and told to get tables. That sucks. That's also like, so lame when it's not Devon. If anything, Trick should push Bubba.
Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, bitch, you get the tables.
Or they should get Spike.
He's like,
probably not busy.
He has like a regular job now and doing things.
Yeah, they all have regular jobs because they're not wrestling.
Well, now they have regular jobs that revolve around wrestling. Spike Dudley has like a regular job that does not involve wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like we get into a Spike Dudley rabbit hole every once in a while. Yeah, so the other thing on NXT that's worth talking about, Fraxium and Javon and Cedric had a tag title match that was very flippy.
Is that their name for real?
I'm sorry, what the hell is Fraxium?
I thought that's what they called them.
It sounds like something that people in Texas would be a fan of. We love Fraxing.
Yeah.
Well, not
dig
all.
up all the grounds.
People with nice cars like Fraxing.
Well, that's what's happening. The match was fun.
Yeah. They're like the double springboard into the cutter to evade and provide offense.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm like, what was the spot in this match that was awesome? He's going to do a regular springboard off the apron into the ring, but Nathan Frazier runs up, so he jumps over him, lands on the second rope, and does the cutter to Axiom.
Mm-hmm. Wild shit.
Very, very cool.
So like the whole thing with him and RVD and Wesley or whatever, I mean, there was already seeds laid with him and Wesley or whatever. They got beef. But I think there was a scene on NXT. I don't know if it was this show or earlier shows to where like Javon Evans was sitting in the locker room and on the wall behind him in his little cubby was all the people that he wanted to wrestle. And it was RVD, Randy Orton, and there was some other ones that I couldn't really make out. But like they're giving Javon Evans his wish list and shit.
Yeah. I mean, go for it. That sounds fun. So
one of them eerily looked like Hook, and I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me or if that's something I want.
I mean, who knows? So yeah, that was NXT. NXT this week looks kind of fun. I hope the setup is unique and interesting.
Is NXT good now?
No, it just has moments.
It has a lot of ladies, and it's been
they've
pumped
always
up with
had that.
a lot of good.
Well, they finally have some good ones. Unfortunately, they still have, like a Nikita Lyons out there who,
sure,
this might not be for her.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We always talk about the meat division. Well, NXT has established that with Lola Vice, Nikita Lyons, and goddamn Jada Parker. It's the meat division. They all fighting each other. Yeah, that's where all the meat at.
Because it's all booty. Yeah, so I have this in the note too. I don't know if we want to talk about it, but yeah, when you ask if NXT's become good, they keep forgetting to call Joe Hendry, who seemingly has nothing to do now because he did not win the TNA title at the last show because
stupid
ass company. And I don't know, I think that would be really cool to do in the ECW building if they want to just get a huge pop for someone who's not an old has-been.
People love popping for him.
Yeah, I love pops.
Mm-hmm.
Pops rocks.
Yeah, I mean that same show, despite Joe Hendry losing to Nick Nemeth for the world heavyweight title, TNA's world heavyweight title, it was a lot of shenanigans involved. JBL came in there, provided some distraction and all kinds of stuff. Ultimately led to Joe Hendry's demise. Also, Jordan Grace lost her women's world title to Masha Slamovich, my female wrestler of the year. I think the last time we did an award show. And what else? Just things of note. Vikingo came back. Well, he's been back for a little while, but this is one of his bigger marquee matches. He went up against another one of my wrestlers of the year, Speedball Mike Bailey, and they tore the fuck down for the X Division title, which Mike Bailey retained. And I don't know why we talking about Frankie Kazarian in 2024 or PCO in 2024. But, those things happened. And of all things that I'm going to say right now, but don't like, the motherfucking Hardys, Matt and Jeff, in 2024 are TNA Tag Team Champions. They won a fucking 3-way Full Metal Mayhem tag match. And it fucking irks me to no goddamn end. But whatever. It's TNA.
Well, I regret bringing that up. Before we take a break, I would like to remind everybody that if you enjoy listening to this show, you can support us at patreon.com/fatal4pod, where you can sign up and get ad-free episodes for only $3 a month and bonus shows for only $5 a month and access to the Discord with either of those. You can come hang out with us and chat all week in the Discord. If you want B-Rob to talk more about TNA, you can just go into the Discord and at B-Rob and be like, TNA ? And he will do what he just did for you there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can also, support us that way. You can also support us by buying merch. It's getting chilly outside, I understand, in other parts of the country. And we have hoodies available at the Etsy shop. So head over to fatal4pod.com, click the shop button at the top, and you can get merch for all your favorite podcasts, like Didn't Get All of It Japan, Squirt Circle Strafe. They got hoodies, they got beanies, they got t-shirts, and you could have them too.
Mm-hmm. All in your closet.
Yeah, or on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Or on your floor, like where you take the clothes off and you throw them on the floor and you forget about it and then you wash them later. You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come back, I'm going to make Noah talk to us about AEW Dynamite because some stuff happened this week that is seemingly worth talking about.
Yeah, and years late.
Well, yeah.
And we're back talking about some AEW stuff here. This past week, well, I guess as of the posting of this episode 2 days ago, AEW Dynamite Fright Night happened, which they do. I feel like every year they do like a Halloween themed show, and in years past, the wrestlers have taken more of an advantage of like doing some fun like Halloween costumes. There wasn't as much of that this year.
Uh-huh.
But at least like the stage had, they had some spooky jack-o'-lanterns and like a little patch of grass for some tombstones. The ropes were orange.
I thought orange was a good color scheme.
Yeah, I did like that. Yeah.
I don't think other wrestling companies do that. That was a good look.
Yeah, the ropes being orange was fun.
Taz would approve or disapprove because you don't like people wearing orange.
Taz orange. Speaking of orange, Orange Cassidy was the first person that showed up to work to challenge Jon Moxley for the AEW title because Paul's favorite type of promo in this company, the this company promo.
Yeah, I mean the match will be good. I like the story of Orange Cassidy being mad that his friend got his neck broken.
Right.
I don't care about this company bullshit because nothing has changed. What's happened?
Everyone loves doing this company promo, but I did like that he threatened that he was going to take, the AEW title and put it in his backpack because that's where he keeps it. But yeah, so easy. And also I like you said, the match will probably be good because historically, Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy have had very good matches together, and I like the continuation of their feud in this sense. But we got a follow up to this segment after like a little later in the show when Moxley and his crew showed up to accept Orange Cassidy's challenge, but also they turn on Yuta.
Yes.
Which was interesting given all the flip-flopping that Yuta has been doing lately.
So I was trying to understand this as well. That's why I asked you before the show. And it didn't seem like you had an answer either. Was the idea here that they needed to trick Orange Cassidy to come to the ring, so they're going to beat up Yuta, knowing that Orange Cassidy is sympathetic, or were they actually going to turn on him? And everything that he did in the last month was a huge waste of time, and then he decided to just stick with him because he's a bitch.
I'm thinking,
yes.
I mean, that part, yes. I mean, I'm thinking, yes, stick with him because, like, at this point, where's Yuta going to go? Because, you know,
Cal's family.
I don't want that.
Learning tree. Beatdown clan.
No, thanks. Because, like, all of his friends that aren't in, you know, this repurposed BCC or whatever you want to call it, the Mox crew.
The Death Riders.
Oh, that's right. They do have a name, the Death Riders. Is that their name? Does that shoot?
I just found that on the interwebs.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because like what he was gonna side with Danielson, but now Danielson's like kind of not gonna be around as much anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Yuta's in a weird place. His thing was interesting for a while, but now he's like flip-flopped so much, and now he's you know, getting beat up by his own guys, and I don't know, it's weird. But it was effective-ish here, trying to, you know, bait Orange Cassidy out, but then also like the whole locker room emptied out basically, and we had like a big brawl, just everyone beating the shit out of each other, and then in a very visually comedic, at least I thought, Darby Allin just descending from the rafters, but like again Sting style, just, you know, on, you know, from the little, you know, bungee rope pulley system.
But he comes down like he's hanging from a noose, and as opposed to like Sting, who would like come down ready to go. Darby Allin's like, I'm a dead body falling down.
He comes down like SpongeBob in the SpongeBob movie at the end when he's in his little wizard costume and he's just kind of hanging there from the ceiling. That's what he looked. Cool. That was his posture.
This was cool because it took the attention away from all the dorks out there, and like, then you actually had like good people out there like Cassidy and Darby, and then Private Party went out as well, which everybody kind of brawled away, but then the Young Bucks came out and they immediately went to the tag match. And this is like, wrestling doesn't do this shit enough where one segment just bleeds into the other.
Yeah.
It was neat.
They should do that more often. It's so cool.
Yeah, it was a very effective use of time to just like, and like also commentary was like, oh, we're starting this match right now. Let's go. And they rang the bell, like, and yeah, tag team title match, much big hype going into this, given that, what was it, Wrestle Dream, Private Party lost that match, which I feel like they should have won there, but
I feel like years ago Private Party should have won.
That's the other thing, B-Rob. This is way overdue. Them holding these titles.
I mean,
oh my god,
it goes back to the episode previous when I had the same conversation. It's just like they bring in all these new toys and all these, you know, justifiably so in some instances, bigger stars, and everybody that's been from day one or through the pandemic got pushed to the back, out the company, or to the side, and now they want to bring these people to the forefront, which, you know, I don't have a problem with, but like the moment kind of feels like it's past and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, just like because, you know, Private Party, so much of their identity are wrapped up in AEW, and you know, like they are so much a part of, like, you know, the early days of AEW.
Them in Top Flight.
Yeah, God.
Which these two teams are similar in the fact that they both came in hot off the indies, made so much headway in this company, then one of their partners got hurt and was out for a long time and forced the other one to be a single star. Dante got more shine than I believe, and I think Cassidy was the one that stayed behind that was still able to work, because, you know, they put him with Jeff Hardy and the Hardy faction bullshit that they had, and called him Brother Zay and all this other bullshit that they had him do, while freaking Dante Martin was killing it going up against Mox and having all these marquee singles matches, prime damn near for a singles title. Then he hurt his fucking self when his brother came back.
And
so it's been like a
Action
tragic
Andretti
tale
was
between those
there.
two. Action Andretti came in hot out of nowhere, really, for real.
Yeah.
Beat Chris
this
Jericho,
1, 2,
and
3
then
kid
just
moment
what
against
happened.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird shit.
But this match was pretty good. I thought. I mean, as far as Young Bucks matches, your mileage may vary as far as your enjoyment of that. But there was like some weird stuff. Like there was a moment where they did a V trigger and then followed it up with a one-winged angel, which like I guess that's like teasing a possible Kenny Omega return sometime soon, but also felt weird being done against Private Party because they don't really have anything to do with Kenny Omega. But I don't know.
Well, the
That was
Bucks
just like
do.
a weird thing I noticed. Yeah, obviously the Bucks do, but
I
just
loved
thought
how
it was-
that near fall went out. Like
Yes,
just hurling your body into the ring to break up a pin was really great.
yeah, that was nice.
But the thing about the Bucks kind of like excluding themselves from this whole feud that AEW has internally, it frees them up to go home. And I say home by going back to New Japan. Kenny Omega has already expressed his interest in doing work in New Japan, especially with the Wrestle Dynasty show coming up the night after Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's going to be January 4th and January 5th.
Forgot
So
about that.
the Bucks probably more or less just wrote themselves off of TV so they can go prepare and be in Japan to sign up for that shit. Because it's going to be the Bucks versus Tanahashi and Kenny Omega as a pairing.
Yeah, well, there was also like you're saying, they're writing themselves off because there was some weird stuff after this match where there was like backstage segment where they were like in their dressing room, like shredding documents and stuff, trying to like cover up some kind of evidence, and then they like packed up all their shit and got in the car and left Brandon Cutler behind to get ambushed by the Death Riders.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I did enjoy their post match like respect angle. That felt
Oh, yeah.
out of place.
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
tugged the titles back, and then they were like, nah, you're in these, and
It was
gave
it
them to
was
him.
it just didn't fit with their character of we're taking over this company. I guess now that they've pivoted to a much more threatening group of people taking over the company, they're not allowed to
It's
do
like-
it anymore.
And it's like, here, take this shit so you can get your ass whipped and I'm going to get out of here.
I guess so.
Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't super like into that, but you're not going to catch me praising the Young Bucks often here.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of guys who hang out with the Young Bucks, Adam Cole versus
Bebe.
Buddy Matthews was actually the first match that happened on this episode. The big in-ring return of Adam Cole,
Baby.
Bebe, and it was a decently told match. I thought they really worked him worrying about his ankle business. Buddy really
You thought that was
stomping the
decent?
shit out of it. Yeah.
They did. It was too much,
It was a lot. It was
especially
like
the part where he gets escorted away and is about to
Yes.
leave the match, and then he comes back and wrestles for another 6 minutes on a busted ass foot.
it was like because Buddy gets on the mic and like calls him a coward, and tells him to get back in the ring so you can show him the real Adam Cole.
It
Bebe.
also doesn't help that all of his offense involves his fucking ankle.
Right? Yeah.
So
super
he's
kicks
doing
and
super kicks. He's
Panama
doing
Sunrise.
jumping onto his foot. Like, how am I supposed to buy that this guy is struggling to walk when all of a sudden he has to do 8 super kicks in a row?
Yeah, like after he got back to the ring after being goaded by Matthews, he basically just hulked up and stopped selling the foot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Until
be like
I
that
was
sometimes.
As this, I thought it was lame.
yeah,
But after
so,
the match,
like,
Malachi showed up, so I guess double count out.
yeah, I'm excited for that double count. I'm excited for the Malachi match. It's been a while since I've seen Malachi wrestle.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought the idea behind the match was good. The execution was so, but it was all right. I'm glad to see Adam Cole back in the ring.
Baby.
Question mark.
Mhm.
I'm starting to kind of line up with Paul's opinion that he really needs to hit the gym. Needs to start.
Oh, that's not just my opinion. It's also Cody Rhodes' opinion.
Yeah, I did see that earlier.
Or like, you know, he can go home where he was.
He's been at home. That's why his arms are that tiny.
He can stay there.
Xbox controller don't weigh that much.
He needs to get the Elite controller.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Do some curls with that instead. People who have been
think
lifting things. Oh,
People really misinterpreted Cody Rhodes' take on body shaming wrestlers.
yeah.
Because like he went on some tirade this week about like how it's a body business and you should, you know, look your physique. He's not saying that if you're a fat wrestler that you can't be a fat wrestler.
Yeah, I'm about to say, look at Otis.
Like these are, you just have to look the part. It's if you were, I don't know, like if you can't fit in your singlet, maybe don't wear a singlet. Like he's just saying it's a body business. You got to look the part. It's not everybody has to be a steroided out action figure. But everyone's like, oh my God, you can't body shame. It's like, you can. It's okay. If anything, it motivates them.
Yeah, be in the shape that your character should be in, or something like that.
If you want to hear me complain about Hank and Tank, join the Discord because he is a prime example of guy who needs to get it together for body business. But maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, speaking of business,
and
there
bodies,
was some business happened.
Body Lashley.
In the main event of this episode, we had Swerve going up against Shelton. Again, another like pretty hyped up match, which was pretty good, I thought. I mean, obviously, you know, Swerve and Shelton, a veteran, and Swerve just very good. It was a fun time, but then the Swerve ended up getting the pin. MVP gets on the phone, and who does he call? Comes out on the entrance ramp. It's Bobby Lashley.
My man, Bobby Lashley.
I like that he called someone and he showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, immediately.
Like it reminded me of Heyman always being like, call Roman Reigns because he's not there. And the show was almost over, so it just seemed like, oh, maybe they're going to set something up for next week. It's like, no, he's there right now.
Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, cool that, I mean, did anyone think that he was going to show up under a different name?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
He's been that name forever, since the beginning.
And I guess Shelton also.
That's his name.
Shelton Benjamin. Oh, that's his shoot name?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I think. Let me double check. But I'm pretty sure it is. He even fought in his MMA under the name, so I imagine that's his name.
Well, he came out. They had a little post-match brawl. Security came out to try and break it up, but Bobby Lashley's chucking him over the ropes and everything.
He's strong.
He's strong.
Yeah.
And MVP says that we're back in business. The Hurt Syndicate is here.
So, Noah, to answer your question, Franklin Roberto Lashley. The Bobby comes for Roberto.
Okay.
Roberto, not just Robert?
No, Roberto. Like Robert with a O.
Well then.
I guess it's good that he's not Franklin Lashley.
That sounds like what was that lawyer show? Franklin and Bash?
Yeah. Franklin and Lashley.
Yeah, Franklin and Lashley.
So are we excited? We excited?
Oh shit!
How come when I hear the
shit!
name
Hold
Franklin,
on, wait a
I think of
minute.
That fucking turtle.
I was just about to say that. God damn it! By the way, Bobby Lashley, 2 years from being 50 years old.
Well,
Jiminy.
there's still time.
To be 50, yes.
Yeah, once he's done wrestling, he can start Franklin and Lash and Associates.
What you know about that
God-
turtle? You used to watch
Goddamn Roberto.
Watch what?
You watch that turtle?
I know about Franklin the Turtle.
Yeah. I know who Franklin is.
I was talking to my wife about Franklin the turtle the other day.
Yeah,
Was he at the
fucking
zoo?
Zoo.
Yeah.
There are
I met
turtles
that
at
one
the
named
zoo.
Franklin.
I prefer seeing the tortoises. They're
What's
cool
the
guys.
difference?
Tortoises are on the land. Turtles are in the water.
What?
What do you mean, what?
They change what they're
That's what they
identified as
do.
when they go from water to land?
Yeah,
What?
tortoises can't breathe in the water.
What?
I mean, neither can turtles are amphibious. Tortoises are not.
What?
They're both reptiles.
This is all news to me. I need to go to the zoo and learn something.
That's why Noah goes.
Yeah. Turns out you learn a lot about animals when you go to the zoo often.
I need a zoo pal.
Getting an education. Come along. We'll take you to the zoo.
Come along and ride on the fantastic.
We can get 3 more people in, my wife is saying from the other room. Because we got the fancy zoo passes.
Oh, I think I'm busy. When were you thinking about going? I'm busy that day.
Saturday morning.
I'm watching Crown Jewel, which we'll be talking about after this break. Lots of stuff on the card. If you liked 5-match cards, this ain't one of them. So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a long afternoon. And we're back, folks. It is time to talk about the jewel of the crown. Crown Jewel, everyone's favorite PLE event that happens, I think, every few months. Big show. Big show this week. And we'll talk about the stuff that led up to some of these matches as well. Because
it's a big show.
There were some actually interesting things that took place on SmackDown, of all places. But first, on the card, Seth Rollins is finally getting his hands on Bronson Reed in a match. Are we excited for this?
I think so. I mean, they've been teasing this for a while, right? Since like Bronson really kind of established himself as a major player on the main roster by beating the shit out of Seth Rollins. So cool to see that kind of finally come to a head, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see Bronson win.
I would.
That would be cool too.
But I doubt it.
Much to ask.
It might be.
Another match that we got, they set up on SmackDown this week, actually. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens came to be after a segment on SmackDown, which I will play for you right now.
Listen, I think everybody in this building knows you're protecting Kevin Owens from me. You know it, I know it, they know it, Kevin knows it.
I am not protecting anyone, Randy. What I am trying to do is do my job.
Listen, you got a soft spot for the guy, I get it. He used to be likable. Hell, I used to like him, but you were protecting Kevin Owens. Just admit it, H.
Take this with all due respect. You just came back after 18 months on the shelf. You didn't tear your ACL. You didn't blow your shoulder out. You had steel rods put in your back, right? They told you were never going to wrestle again. But yet here you are, and I just got you back. And buddy, I don't want to see you go back on that shelf.
You know what's
No. You listen to me. I don't want to see you go back on that shelf, maybe permanently.
If you were in my shoes, you wouldn't just sit back and let it slide. If you were in my shoes, you would do what you have always done, what we have always done, and that is handle our business the only way we know how, right in the middle of this ring.
I hope to God you all know what you're asking for. You want Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel? You got him. Randy, from this moment forward, I suggest you protect yourself at all times.
You want to fight that guy? Well, I'm reluctant to let you do it, but you can fight this guy.
He talked him into it. I thought it was a hoot of a promo to kick off SmackDown this week. And I'm looking forward to that match.
Yeah.
I assume Kevin Owens is winning here, but
you would hope so.
I would assume. It also, I like that we're not going straight back to Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes since we just saw that. So
I'm interested in the whole thing of like, Kevin Owens is beef is like, Cody, siding with Roman after all the shit that the bloodline has done to the company and them. And then now we've seen seeds with Sammy, behind the scenes, just talking with Jimmy and Jay and Solo. So I wonder how, when Kevin finds out, how is that going to affect him and how that's going to play out?
Well, he could find out by watching Raw, where all of that happened. The Roman Reigns and the Usos will be taking on the other bloodline. And a lot of this came together this week, including Bloodline 2 losing the tag titles to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Wild.
To close out SmackDown. This week's SmackDown might have been one of the best ones they've done in a long time. Tons of stuff happened. Motor City Machine Guns got a good promo in there and won against DIY like very decisively and in a great match. And then got booked into a Bloodline Shenanigans match, but they didn't have enough time to make you watch 20 minutes. So they just went right into the Bloodline stuff of, oh, that guy's wearing a mask and it's Jimmy. And then he runs away. And then, oh, there's Roman and he's here. And then they run away. And then Jay shows up and he's here. And because he's mad that they cost him his Intercontinental title. So all of this stuff happened within like 5 minutes. Probably one of the best Bloodline matches I've ever seen. Top tier stuff. They just hit all the good spots. Didn't have to wait for it. Motor City Machine Guns won the tag titles. And we'll go on to do, I don't know.
Machine gun stuff.
Yeah. Then on Raw this week, Jay and Jimmy had a moment in the ring where Jay's like, hey, we made it on our own. No one gets us confused anymore. Like, I'm Jay and you're Jimmy. And I'm like, you're Jay. And that guy's never around. But he said, if I help you, we're doing this together as the Usos, not as anyone's bitch. So that happened. And then later, Sammy was talking to Jay about something. And Sammy's like, why would you go back to Roman? He's a piece of shit. And Jay's like, you wouldn't get it. You're not family, which was not
dagger.
Something you wouldn't expect. But also, they had a segment later where he was like openly showing regret for saying that. And Jimmy's like, I'll go talk to Sammy, who he found in the parking lot talking to Solo. So a lot of stuff with Sammy going on here. And we are now getting Bloodline A versus Bloodline B at Crown Jewel, where the good guys are outnumbered a little bit.
A little bit.
But also not really, because even Jay has no problem beating up everybody in the Bloodline all at once. Because that happened twice in the last week.
That's the power of being over, baby. That's
Our
the power of
make-believe.
heat.
Yeah, they're not that tough. Also on the show, LA Knight is defending the U.S. title against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes because LA Knight was
Can't get it out.
He was the special ref in this match 7 of 7 series. And then he just beat them both up and said, fuck this match. Which, to be fair, I'm aligned with him. I've seen that match 1,000 times. I do not care anymore. Also, here is Liv Morgan against Nia Jax. I do wonder if we'll get a cash-in of sorts here. Like, I don't know where you go with that. Do you have Liv lose it to Tiffany so she has something to do? What with Rhea being out?
I guess
I can't imagine.
So many possibilities.
You
Can't
need
imagine
something
that
for her to
happening.
do because she's like kind of one of the main characters on the show. Yeah, with Rhea
Push
being done with
Selena.
it.
True.
Yeah.
No, shut up.
You suggested it.
I'm being sarcastic. Every time when she came to the ring this week, they grabbed a sign out of the crowd that said "Push Selena," and then she fell all over the ring and like missed a bunch of moves. Like, come on, don't. First of all, you're on TV having matches. Quit complaining. Also, why? Push you where? You want to go get in that main program? Go for it, I guess. Silly. It was silly.
Selena.
Yeah, Selena. Also on this card, Jade Cargill and Bianca will defend the tag titles against Damage Control, Metaphor, and Piper and Chelsea.
It's gonna be a lot of good looking outfits they're gonna make for this show.
I mean, it's gonna be bodysuits.
Yeah, I was saying that those things look pretty cool.
Look, they've been doing these Saudi Arabia shows for a while now, and it's very clear that they have changed their position on women because now they don't have to wear their sleep shirt over their bodysuit.
Shirt.
Big shirt Natalia against big shirt Lacey Evans was going around Twitter today.
Big shirt energy.
Yeah, it's looked terrible.
Big shirt, no.
Yeah, so I don't know. That could be fun. I don't imagine the belts change hands here at all.
Probably not.
But maybe. And finally, in a match where the belts definitely aren't changing hands because they created one for them. I guess Liv and Nia also have a belt to fight over here. But yeah, for the Crown Jewel belt that is carried around in a giant sniper rifle case at every show, Cody Rhodes will be taking on Gunther in a match that they hyped up on SmackDown this week with another great promo.
The reason why you don't say no, the reason why you don't put yourself first, is if you stop being the servant of everybody else, your little story is over. And you know what that makes you? That makes you a gutless champion. And a gutless champion will always be secondary to me.
I don't see a general at all, though, because you command no one. You lead no one but yourself, and you want to mention guts? All I do, my whole career has been built on guts. The path less traveled has been made up with my own guts. You want to know what guts are? Guts is ending a civil discussion like this and taking the first shot.
Oh, Cody Rhodes has had enough. And Rhodes with the right hand, and now he goes after the world champ.
Good segments on SmackDown this week.
Guts. I was thinking about the Nickelodeon show.
Dude, you have it. I think you can get an aggro crag on eBay if you try hard enough.
I'm going to look right now.
They should be fighting over an aggro crag instead of the Crown Jewel belt.
So, is there any truth to that rumor that Goldberg is going to be there?
Maybe.
Probably. They love Goldberg over there. They can't.
They love him over here too. Goldberg rules.
Uh-huh. Well, they really love having him at the Saudi shows.
I'm sure he also loves that paycheck.
I bet he does.
Yeah, I bet he's not mad going over there getting probably a couple million just to show up.
Yeah.
You can get a Super Aggro Crag Guts TV prop for $51.69.
There you go. Get that glowy rock. Again, they should be fighting over that instead of weird belt.
So do we think Goldberg interferes here and helps Cody win?
I don't want that.
What else do you do?
Yeah, you got to have that nostalgia pop. All these crown,
Yeah.
all these.
I mean, that's what they pay for.
Nostalgia pop, yeah.
That's what they pay for. So yeah.
I just don't know. Like, you can't just have Gunther eating a loss clean, and I wouldn't have him beat Cody either. Like, this match needs bullshit.
Do you think the match is going to be cool before the bullshit happens, though? Because that's the thing. Like,
yes.
You know, like a blood match. A bloodline match usually is like really plotting and super boring until the bullshit happens. But I have a feeling, yeah, like you were saying, Paul, that I feel like the match will
Cody
be
and
good
Gunther
because
don't
it's
do
Cody
that.
and Gunther. Yeah, they will both work and have a good match, and then some bullshit will happen, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. And we'll all cheer when Goldberg and Cody pose together.
They do a spear.
Oh, yeah. He could do a spear, too. Everybody does spear.
Yeah, we love spear.
So, are we watching this show? I'm watching it probably.
I'm probably going to watch it.
All right, we might talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not I will be watching live depends on how my zoo trip goes, but I will watch it before the next episode of this show, probably.
Like if you get your eyes pecked out or something by the birds.
Yeah.
That's how your zoo trip goes.
They usually keep them behind the fence. They usually aren't able to do that, but I guess we'll see. They do have wings. They can fly over that fence if they want to. Usually they have
Aren't their wings clipped?
No. I mean, some of them are like the bald eagles they have there are injured in a way that they can't fly, which is why they have them at the zoo so they can take care of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good work over there at that Houston Zoo.
Except they injured the birds to prevent them from leaving.
Yeah. Every time they get up, they whack them over the wing with a bat or some shit.
They did that themselves before they got
there.
there.
Oh, and now they're in jail for hurting themselves?
They're in hospital jail. Like the Joker.
I heard that was great.
Yeah, everyone loved it. They loved it so much that my
Everyone
local
loves
theater
Joker.
had to cut back on hours to make up for the costs of having that movie there.
Well, folks, that was the week of wrestling and the preview. I will say we didn't get all of it, but we will try again next week. Speaking of next week, Noah, are you bringing your video game show back next week? I heard you had an off week this week because no one bugged me on Monday to edit a podcast.
I am doing that. I was on a bit of a vacation last week, but
Was it a birthday or a baby shower?
It was a little more romantic than that. I went and saw a concert in St. Louis with my wife.
At a zoo?
No.
Oh.
Downtown St. Louis. But yeah, I'll be talking about video games this weekend. That'll be happening for sure.
The Squared Circle Strafe back Monday.
Yeah.
And didn't get all of it Japan. New episode dropped a day ago, 2 days ago.
Yo.
So check that out. And then we will obviously be back next week. In the meantime, while you wait, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and listen to the show. That helps too. Write a review on any of the platforms that allow you to write reviews. That also helps. Consider joining the Patreon. I told you about it earlier. Patreon.com/Fatal4Pod. Go buy some merch. It's merch season.
Yeah.
Fatal4pod.com. You can find all the things there. Until next time, go vote and
vote some more.
Hopefully next week is easy.